Obviously, you found a consensus that Caleb Williams is worthy of being the first overall pick in this draft. And in terms of that section, there was one piece that jumped out at me, and it had nothing to do with the tape. It had to do with the contract for Caleb Williams, and that is potentially going to take some doing because of the way he's approached the draft being totally unconventional and how that might actually leak into the contract. Tom?
Well, let's zoom out here for a second here, Rich. So Caleb Williams, from the time that he was like 10 years old, and his dad, Carl, who's a successful businessman, he's worked in the athletic training space, they've had a singular goal. Let's get this guy in a position where he's going to be the number one pick in the NFL draft. They have done that by doing it their own way, and they haven't been concerned about, well, this isn't how other people would do things. You look selfish. They don't care. They're going to make the right decisions for Caleb Williams. So through the course of this process, you've seen Caleb has not had a traditional agent. He's had the team of advisors and attorneys and other people who have guided this process for him. He paused his pre-draft training, went to Tokyo with his girlfriend on a vacation for a while. He didn't do the medical testing that is standardized and 99.999% of guys have gone through the years. He only took one visit, and that was to the Bears. And so there's every reason to believe, based upon the history here, that things might end up being interesting in the contract process as well. It's been reported that his dad, Carl Williams, has in the past expressed to people that potentially equity in a team would be something that they would be interested in. The NFL a year or so ago passed a bylaw in which it says you can't have a player or any other employee owning equity in a team, which I can't tell you what the origins of that rule were, Rich, but certainly it seemed like it was a preemptive type of a thing for people like Caleb Williams or other players coming into the league who might make those types of demands. The bottom line is this: contracts have been slotted for rookies since 2011. There's not a lot of wiggle room. We know that there have been contracts that have gotten hung up on offset language, bonus payment structure, and things like that. But if you just go through everything that Caleb and his team have done here, you'd say nothing is just going to happen the normal cause of business. It's not just going to be they're going to work out the offset language and get the thing done a few days before training camp. I'm not saying there's a holdout or anything else. It's just every part of this process has been a little bit different for Caleb. I think if you go back to the start of the process, I know the Bears would not have been the team that they were targeting to go to here, but Chicago owned that number one pick. They've had a lot of very frank and honest and positive discussions between Caleb Williams' team and the Bears. What Caleb and his people want to make sure is that you've got the infrastructure, the resources, the investment to let him go out there and chase the next goal, which is win a whole bunch of Super Bowls, be the greatest of all time. What have the Bears done in this offseason? They went out and got an offensive coordinator that they think is a fit in Shane Waldron, who's worked with different styles of quarterbacks. They retained Chris Morgan, who's one of the top offensive line coaches they think can help the run game. They signed DeAndre Swift. They traded for Keenan Allen. They really signaled to Caleb, you're our guy, we're all in, by trading Justin Fields for a sixth-round pick. When they did, my understanding is the sides are in a good place right now. When he came in for the visit, they had him go out to dinner with some of the veteran players. Those guys, I'm told, were really impressed with Caleb as well. All indications are, barring something going totally haywire here, he's going to be the quarterback of the Chicago Bears. What takes place, really, not just through this offseason and getting the contract done, but in his career. He's going to do things his own way. It's worked for him to this point. He's about to check the box as the number one overall pick, and now it's on to the next goal.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.